Hi everyone, I'm just going to quickly show you how to set up CeneraioVR to run locally and what it looks like in the cylinder. So here is our desktop and here is ICE running. First thing we want to do is go and create a web view. Once we've got a web view, we need to put in a URL, and that can either be a live CeneraioVR URL from the web, or if we're going to run it locally, what we need to do is run a small web server. The tool we use is the KR testing server. It's a very small, lightweight utility, free, and you can just go download it from the web. What you do is you go and point it where your CeneraioVRs are. So I've made a folder here on the machine, and you can see we've got the eLearning Brothers DevLearn content, and just Corals of the Caribbean that I did for my export. So we're going to just point at this high-level directory where we have both scenarios. Then you can see the server addresses here. We can just click on it and we can see all of our individual CeneraioVR exports. We're going to go into the one you've created and you can see it's running. We're just going to copy that URL, and then here in ICE, once we've got our web view, we paste in that URL, and in here you want to do Igloo equals 1 on the end, and that will go and run it in Igloo mode. We want to turn off dynamic resolution and do 6000 by 1000 for the resolution. And once we've got that, we want to then, if you're running an actual CeneraioVR, you need to put on true perspective and actually cube map to equirectangular, and then true perspective. This one that's been provided isn't actually a 360 image, so we don't need to go and do the full sphere. So I'm going to just remove both these now, and you can see here it stretches over most of the ICE canvas, and looking at this, you've got it at the resolution for an open back cylinder. So today I have it just in a full cylinder, so I'm just going to go and position it a bit to the left so you guys can see. And once we've got it there running and it's all set up, we're going to go and save the session as CeneraioVR Dev Learn. And what I recommend doing is under the miscellaneous here, we set the executable path for KR Pano. And so in here, I have the KR Pano tool. Actually, there it is. Sitting here, the executable, and I'm just going to select that executable. And that just means once we launch that session in ICE, it goes and starts the web server up and starts sending it right. So I'm going to save that session again, and we're all good. And then I can click home here. What I'm going to quickly do now is show you what it looks like from in the space. And we're going to just have a look at the wide angle camera. All right. Here you can see I've now got the tablet. And I'm just going to go using the ICE control panel to send my mouse and keyboard. You can see now I can control the space in here, and we have an ICE preset here that we just created for CeneraioVR. I go and click on that. It'll go and launch the KR Pano server and then display it. And then you can see here we've got the title bar and the session bar. That's something I forgot. So what I might just quickly do, show you back to that. Here in ICE, we want to make sure that we are not showing the UI so that we don't see that toolbar along the top. And I'll just save that. All right. The other thing that you want to probably do is drag this toolbar over to the side and minimize it so that it's out of the way and we're not seeing the canvas GUI. So that means we have the presentation sitting here in front of us, and what I will do is just save the session again so it remembers that toolbar position and it's out of the way. Alright, we have the cursor here. We can then go to the start button, click start. And it looks like the resolution or aspect ratio is not quite right. What that is because the resolution that we set here we go back, is 6,000 to 1,000 here on the web URL. That's because I've got it set up to be a for a cube map for the actual Igloo mode. Since this isn't a proper scenario VR, we're going to go and set it to, I'm guessing 8,000. No, 5,000. There's a resolution that you guys will have been given for this, and we'll work with our tech team to manage that. So once we've got the resolution to the right aspect ratio, just hit save again. And now you can see that we can see everyone's head. And we can go and just click on an experience.
Hi, I'm Andrew CEO and co-founder of Igloo. Welcome to our immersive learning experience at DevLearn 2023. People are your greatest asset, but most training fails to unlock their potential.
So you can see it's working fine. I can then go see your menu bars here.
Professional services to create learning experiences that educate.
I'm going to go exit back out of that. Go to course authoring.
Imagine having the power to craft any type of course you can dream.
You can jump through the courses, and we're all fine. I can click the home button, and then we're back at the ICE control screen. And what I might do is quickly show you guys. I'm just going to go and load a session that we've done before. And I should already have a CeneraioVR. This is the one from the case studies page on your website. And you can see here the resolution is wrong, so I'm just going to fix that up. It needed to be that 6,000 by 1,000 that I mentioned. And then under effects, we want to add cube map to equirectangular and true perspective. And that will then run it at the right aspect ratio in our cylinder. Just going to save that. And then I'll show you guys what that one looks like. So if we transition back. All right, same thing. Oops, just turn off the UI. You can see I have my mouse, and I can go and click the begin button. So if you export any normal CeneraioVR, this is the way it will work. And you can use a normal CeneraioVR in the Igloo space. So this is actually running from the web, as we don't have any exports and we can't export the public scenarios. What we'd love is for you guys to export a few public scenarios so we can actually show some CeneraioVRs live at the event and show things like the picture-in-picture, the menus, that sort of stuff. And you can see here, I can just use it like normal. And I think what's great about what you guys do is that we're immersed in the scenario. We're standing here on the site, and we feel like we're part of the training, which is something that I guess isn't conveyed in the video that you guys have got at the moment. So these can be run in conjunction with the videos that are there. Now that we've got this saved as a preset, what I can do is just click home here, jump back to our menu, and we can jump back into your existing CeneraioVR, and here we are able to jump through the video content. If we were going to go and do that with a exported one, let me just show you what that looks like. What we're going to do is I'm just going to go and load that existing session. And here you can see we're using the URL from the web. What I am going to do is just take that KR Pano server that we had, go into that, and here is an export that I've done of the default CeneraioVR. I'm just going to take that URL, copy it, paste it in here, leave the question mark Igloo equals 1 there, hit enter, and here again you can see we've got the Q map track rectangle and the true perspective, and I'm going to just call that Coral and hit save. And what we can do now, oops, wrong one, sorry. All right, so just closing this off and transition back to here. Here you can see we have the default CeneraioVR running, and I can go and run that as normal. And just what you have to be aware of from any scenarios that we export is that you're looking at, I guess, a small aspect ratio. And so just that any title text like this or any GUI elements are not off the screen above or below. And then we can just run it like normal, where I can click the play button.
Diving in the Caribbean is like swimming in a kaleidoscope with dazzling colors of fish and coral.
I can bring up the questions.
But what is coral really?
And actually do a training scenario within the Igloo.
Bright colors. Believe it or not, it is from algae living.
We can then just click the home button again, and now here on the menu we've got our 3 CeneraioVRs, and we can just jump back to the CeneraioVR of the fire, and we can be in the fire scenario. We can jump home and we can jump back to the video-based presentation and start that. Or we can jump to the local copy of the Coral scenario that's been exported. And that's how you get CeneraioVR running in an Igloo off the local server.